Recording. 2 channels started.
Well, it's Sunday, 5:16 in the morning. I set my alarm for 3:45 because on the day before, when I was checking Uber, um, recommendations, they said that Sunday morning was supposed to be busy. And actually, yesterday, I worked Saturday, at my main job, and then after work, usually Saturdays are busy, right? So after work, I started the app, didn't get anything um, for like 10 minutes, so I started driving towards my home, and I reached my home, and not a single offer from Lyft or Uber, so which is kind of like surprising. So sometimes they switch, Saturday and Sunday. Normally Sundays are dead, but Saturdays are busy. And so for some reason this time Saturday was dead and Sunday was busy. So I mean, supposed to be busy, but I started the app at 4 a.m. and by 5:17, well, by 5, I already did 3 rides. I did 2 with Uber and 1 with Lyft. So my first guy was from my area to the LRT station, like, where the trains run. And then from there, there was a local pickup, I don't know, at 4:20 in the morning. Half-naked lady was going 2 kilometers in the same area, probably some, big party or something, or wedding. And that was like $3 because it was like 1 kilometer or something. And then from there, I picked up, like I'm sitting there, all of a sudden I hear my trunk is being opened. What? And I look and there's a lady opening my trunk with bags. And I said, "Oh, okay, we're going to the airport, right?" She says, "Yeah." All right. So I took her to Departures Air Canada, and that was my last ride. And normally at this time of the day, they say head to the waiting lot, but I check and it says 2 rides per hour, and there's already like 5 drivers ahead of me, so which is stupid. So you'd be sitting there for 2 hours trying to get there's no flights, right? People are leaving, but there's nothing is landing. And so normally when I end up at the airport so early in the morning, I just head back to my area. Like now I'm near Redstone, Skyview Ranch, sitting in a gas station over here. So this is, and what's funny is that when you do rides before 5, Lyft, why am I offline, by the way? Yeah, when you do rides before 5, oh, it's because, yeah. On the way back, when I was driving from the airport, actually Lyft offered me 2 rides, but they were both, not very interesting, so I did not take them. And if you don't take 2 rides in a row, Lyft kicks you out offline. So now I'm back online. So basically, I'm sitting at the border of Skyview Ranch and Redstone, and you see Uber 4 minutes away, and Lyft gave me something, $16. No, let's take Uber, because Lyft is like $16, but it's like 26 kilometers. Man, I missed it. So again, I missed both. Like I clicked on Uber too late, and Lyft expired. But yeah, it seems to be busy. So we're gonna get something soon. No problem. But yeah, Lyft was taking me all the way west. But it's too cheap. $16 for 26 kilometers. Shoot. Of course, no telling where Uber was going or how much it paid, but I'm online on both apps. Oh, buses are running. So I see a transit bus. Okay, 4 minutes away. The same one. Okay, accept. Uber. All right. at 2.3 kilometers. So now let's cancel Lyft. Because I don't know why Lyft doesn't have a pause button like Uber. Okay, which way are we going? Not sure. So once I start driving, it says 4 minutes, 2.3 kilometers, and it's the same offer I just missed. So I'm guessing, okay, airport is this way. Trying to see like which way am I going here? Well, we'll go this way, and the app should update. I knew it. So it's away from.
Turn right on Skyview Ranchway Northeast. Then turn left on Skyview Springs Common Northeast.
It's away from this gas station. So I bet this person is going to the airport. Something is telling me. And then if it's the airport, then again I'll have to
turn right on Skyview Ranch Drive Northeast.
I'll have to dead head back to my area. Because again, like I know from experience, I tried it before, like
turn right on Skyview Ranch Drive Northeast.
Occasionally you can get somebody at the airport at like 5 in the morning because some people work night shifts, right? And then just when they get off work, once I picked up a guy over there, it's like 6 in the morning, and I said, "You work at the airport?" He says, "Yeah."
100 meters, enter the roundabout, then take the first exit onto 52nd Street Northeast.
And I said, "But there's no flights, right?" He says, "Yeah, no." Basically, no. He says, "Flights, they only start like landing. They only start around 8. So, like a minuscule chance of getting a passenger, from the airport this early." And so I never just waste time sitting there. Just drive east, and there's always something here. So like this area, Redstone, Cornerstone, Skyview Ranch, there's always something here. I don't know, because there's a lot of rental apartments, and people don't have cars.
Enter the roundabout, then take the first exit onto 52nd Street Northeast.
You see, now it looks like I'm going either to Cityscape or Cornerstone. So where are we going?
In 300 meters, turn left on Country Hills Boulevard Northeast.
Buses. Never drove a bus, that's one thing.
Turn left on Country Hills Boulevard Northeast.
One thing I always wanted to try. I remember when I was a kid in Kirovograd, Ukraine, USSR. Okay, sorry, auto off. It's such an annoying feature. I would kill an engineer who introduced this, that you cannot change it in settings so that auto, start is off, because this is so annoying. And I already had to change my battery once. Thankfully, it was under warranty. It kills your battery for sure. So anyway, I remember when I was a kid, and I'm like, I don't know, 12, 14 years old,
In 300 meters, turn right on Skyline Parkway
and it's
Northeast.
bus route number 14, I still remember, from the airport area, which is funny. So when I lived in Kirovograd in Russia, I was also not too far from the airport,
Turn right on Skyline Parkway Northeast.
And I always liked planes because my dad was a pilot, right? And so I remember this bus, the make was Lee Oz. Liaz. I think it was auto works named after Likachov.
300 meters pickup shot up.
Liaz. So it was a Russian bus made in Russia, kind of like similar looking to this one, all square, and it had a big glass right behind the driver. You know, it was the driver sat in a little kind of like a glass cabin in the front, so you cannot, like here it's open, right? Like the driver sits right there, so you can touch him, right? But those buses in Russia, someone here?
Recording. 2 channels started.
Yeah, when I was sitting at that gas station, so and I got a ride with Uber, it was again to the airport, and of course, again, there's nothing here. Like this stretch over here, people are speeding all the time, but the speed limit here is 30 kilometers an hour, and everybody's so impatient, like this guy. So like I'm at 33, he's probably at 40, and sometimes there's cops here sitting. Actually, I saw them more than once. Cops are catching people here because after this light, yeah, you get 50, but before the light it's 30 because technically you're still inside the airport, right? And imagine if you, let's say, most people are they're thinking it's 50, so they're driving 50 in a 30-kilometer zone. That's an easy fine for cops, you know. So last time I took the airport trail, so now forget it. I'll just go straight because there's a bunch of hotels on the other side. So, and Uber actually really annoying. When you're close to the airport, it cannot get you rides from nearby. It says head to the waiting lot because it thinks you're still inside the airport. You know, whereas Lyft has a much more narrow area. And so I have to get away from the airport before Uber starts giving me rides, you know. Yeah, right now it still says head to the waiting lot at the airport. But then I checked the numbers, it's like, I don't know, no flights. So why would I head to the waiting lot, you know, just sit there for 2 hours, waste my time? Because if you are at the airport, you know, the funny thing is that, and you're sitting at that waiting lot, they will not give you anything from the outside. It's a stupid system. So I have to get away from, I think once I hit the Country Hills Boulevard, it should see that I'm no longer at the airport. But right now, like this Acclaim Hotel on the right, a couple of times I picked up people here. And when I was doing food delivered here a couple of times to the same guy. First he orders some food, then he orders some booze, and no tip each time, no tip. And mostly you get tips, you know, when you do food delivery. All right, shall I head back east or what's the story here? Okay, finding trips. All right, so now, yeah, it changes. It changed to, but I'm already in the turn line. Okay, turn lane. Oh, actually, I can go to this I don't know if I should sit here. There's a gas station here, but yeah, there's no residences here except a couple of hotels. All right, we'll just go back east to the other side of Métis Trail. So that was my ride number 4. So Uber did not lie. So it is busy, you know. Like how do they know this? So I'm guessing it's from the past history. They knew that this particular Sunday, September 7th, would be busy for some reason. But you know, I do find that quite a few times, you know, you can trust, these numbers. And by the way, this is this spot. This is where I was doing my plane spotting video, because right here, this is where the plane lands to my right. Actually, I brought my camera together with me today. So I'm thinking, you know, once I'm done Ubering, I can go and do some plane photography and video. It's either here on Country Hills Boulevard at 36th Street, or actually the one I never tried. They say the best spot, the best spot for plane spotting in Calgary is actually on McKnight Boulevard, which is like, this is the northern part of the airport, but that one is like southern part. And quite often, you know, the way they do it is, last time I was here, I could only see the planes landing because they were taking off towards McKnight. And so yeah, I want to go there and see if I can capture some like more interesting, you know, angles. All right, and this is Métis Trail. So usually this is a good area, and that's where I was last time. And my home is like, I don't know, 2 kilometers from here. So this last one was $7.97. Do I get any tips? No tips so far. So basically, yeah, this early in the morning, what I do when I end up at the airport, I just start heading back towards my home. Because, you know, let's say now I need to use a restroom or toilet, as they say in Britain. Yeah, British people, it's funny, right? When I was in UK, I was, I forgot where I was, but, you know, I needed to use the facilities. And I asked the lady at the counter, I think it was like a coffee shop, I said, is there a bathroom? And she looks at me kind of like funny, like, is this guy trying to take a bath or something? And I said, washroom, restroom, and she says, oh, a toilet. It's over there, around the corner. So, and then I talked to my friend with whom I was staying, and he says, yeah, over here we don't like to sugarcoat things, so we call it a toilet. Like, and which is interesting because in Russian it's the same thing. We don't say douche or комната отдыха, we say toilette, which is toilet, because it's from the French word, or even German. I think it's toilette, toilette. I forget, but it's same. You know, the core of the word is the same. Toilet, toilette. Look at the traffic. You know, it's like 10 to 6, and there's so many cars. everybody's going somewhere. Like, what's going on? It's not a long weekend. I don't know. So basically, yeah, now I'm driving towards my home, and if I'm lucky to reach my home without getting any offers, I will just put Uber on pause and cancel Lyft and go inside. I think I have like half a cup of coffee left. Maybe make another cup of coffee. But yeah, so from 4 pretty much until 10 to 6, I had 4 rides, but I don't think I made that much money because they were short runs, you know. Probably the longest one was the first guy who I took to the transit station, and I think it paid like $10. And yeah, you can tell that the winter is coming because before, like in July, 5 in the morning, it was already, daylight. Now every day it's getting darker and darker when I show up for work. Let's say I start my shift at 6:45 in the morning, and it's getting darker. So when they give me paperwork, I have to use like a headlamp I put on my head, otherwise you cannot see anything. Alright, looks like I'll be able to use toilet because I'm like 200 meters away from my home, so we can put the Uber on pause, and we can cancel Lyft because Lyft doesn't have a pause button.
Recording. 2 channels started.
So I stayed home for 10-15 minutes, made myself another coffee, and then got a ride right from my area, basically adjacent building, with Uber. And Uber got really confused. Like, I'm guessing there was a poor internet signal. I had to do a couple of circles around the building till I finally found my passenger. And she was going probably to work because I dropped her off at some kind of a nursing home. Um, and it was a long ride, about 25 kilometers. And Uber paid me $21.92. So yeah, no tips so far. And I ended up in the Northwest. It's some kind of a sleeper community. And I know to my left there's 1A, or Crowchild Trail. So we are on the outside of 201. So we are already beyond the ring road, northwest. But yeah, 1A is over there, I think. So that's north. And so 1A, that's the one you can take to, that's where I go, like when I go shooting, go to public land, or you can get to Banff, Kananaskis, Cochrane, that kind of thing. But there's no connection here. It's a very long road to get back, that you have to take to get back to the highway 201. So yeah, there's a little lake over here, I think, shows on the map. And I've been sitting here for 10 minutes, and if I click on earning potential, it's all bright red. supposed to be super great area for Uber, and yet I've been here, like I said, 10-15 minutes, and I get no offers whatsoever. But at least it's way better than Northeast, my home area, because that one shows totally like pale, like this color. So that's Northeast. You see, like it's pretty much white. But where I am right now, it's supposed to be super high, earning potential. Maybe I'm outside of the area? No, I'm right on the border. It's called Northwest University. Yeah, supposed to be super good. Maybe I should get back to closer, because I think I saw there was some like a shopping center, coffee shop, stuff like that. Maybe I should get there, because over here I'm far from everything. Yeah, this is called Royal Oak, kind of like area. Royal Oak. Oh, I see a bunch of bike paths here. Like I was supposed to do a bike run, uh, like Sunday morning. That's what I usually do. But then I saw that, since Saturday was not busy, and I need to make some money, so I ended up getting up at like 3:45 and doing Uber. So maybe I do a bike run later.
Recording. 2 channels started.
So yeah, I sat there in this residential area, right? And I thought, okay, I should get somewhere closer to like some shopping, center or something. And so I drove 3 kilometers, and there's a Walmart. It's a busy place. And guess what? They gave me a ride. Well, Lyft offered me something, but it was like too far away. The pickup was too far away, so I didn't take it. But Uber then gave me, when I was near Walmart, Uber gave me a passenger 1 kilometer away. And so I'm driving back the same way I came. And then I pick up a guy, and I see that my destination is LRT station. And I pretty much ended in the same area where I was before. I did not know that there's an LRT station here. But basically it's a transit station. And I said, that's it. I'm not moving from here, because it's just ridiculous. You drive 3 kilometers, and then, it takes you back to the same area. So, but again, sometimes, you can be sitting and there's nothing, like at the airport, right? Like 5 in the morning in the airport for sure. I'm not gonna sit there. If I drop somebody off, I'm gonna go back to my area. But here, you never know. But I don't see any trains coming. And now all of a sudden, see, I'm in the same spot. But now, before it was like bright red, now it's yellow. Yellow means lower earning potential. And it keeps changing. Like it was supposed to be like next hour it was going up, but now it's the same. Like you see same height bars over here. So it's better than medium. Like my northeast is still, see, pale. Basically there's nothing there. And the busiest now is southwest at, what is it, 7:35 in the morning. See, southwest, or usually, yeah, southern part of Calgary is the best. But this one, northwest, it shouldn't be, too bad. But I guess now we're back to regular Sunday programming, and it's quiet. So far, by the way, so from 4 in the morning, I had 5 trips with Uber, and I made $45, no tips. And I did one ride with Lyft, but it still shows 0 because it counted that um, towards the previous day. So I don't see my, like, where's my earnings? I think it was like $10 or something. Pay and tax info. Where's my earnings? Why I don't see any? Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. Says yeah, 10.51. $10.51. That was a couple I took to the airport. So it's available for payout or for cash out. And so yeah, so basically $11 with Lyft and 45. So what is it? 56. 56 bucks. And now it's 7:30, and I've been behind the wheels from 4. So 3 hours, yeah, like $20 an hour. So it's definitely worse than my main job, where I'm getting almost $27 an hour, and I don't have to pay for gas, right? Because I drive a company vehicle. So here it's $20 an hour, and I spent yesterday. I put in like 17, 18 liters. I spent 25 bucks on gas. So it's ridiculous.
Recording. 2 channels started.
So it's 9 o'clock. I've been up and around since 4, so 5 hours. So what do I have to show for 5 hours? So 2 rides with Lyft made me $20. And 6 rides with Uber made me $60. Like for some reason, Lyft is actually like bigger numbers, you know? So basically actually 6 trips, $60. So one trip, $10 roughly, right? So sitting at $80 for 5 hours of work. You know, not good. Should be like, would be nice if it was like $30, 150. But $80, I'll take it. But not as busy as I thought it would be. And so I ended up on 9th Avenue, just east of downtown. So nice area, but it's 9 in the morning. It's too early, but there's a bunch of restaurants over here. Of course, they all closed. Actually, the last passenger, I took him to the restaurant, so he probably goes for work. But yeah, so 8 rides in 5 hours. So that's what's happening. So now we're just waiting. Okay, what's the? So yeah, see, that's my blue dot. I'm in the middle of Calgary pretty much, and it's, see, southwest now is red. I was in northwest, which was yellow, meaning not very busy. And I'm pretty much on the border of these two areas. Yeah, well, it's considered Calgary downtown and in and north. Yeah, see, like this area over here. It's downtown, but it's not busy. But it's supposed to be next hour, like at 10 o'clock, it goes up, and it should be very busy. Like it's gonna be, see, like now yellow, that's like above medium, above, yeah, but then it becomes high. So downtown becomes high around 10, but I'm not sure if I want to wait 1 hour. But now I have both Lyft and Uber up and running. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, probably. I thought I would make like $200, but it doesn't look like it. So probably I'll make like 100. And it's my tradition that when I do Uber on the weekends, I usually go for breakfast, to some nice breakfast place. So I think I usually get hungry around 11, but since I woke up at 3:45, I might go sooner. But again, see, like over here, Uber says it's gonna be busy. Maybe it'll become better. Well, now everything is yellow, even Southwest. Well, I'll stay around until I'm really hungry. I brought my camera with me. Maybe I'll go and because McKnight is the spot I never tried. You know, McKnight Boulevard, whatever, and there should be a good location for planes, but it's Sunday, so there's not that many flights on Sunday. But we'll see.
Recording. 2 channels started.
One problem you can run into if you decide to do Uber is what to do when you need to go to the toilet, as they say in UK, or bathroom. Especially downtown, there's lots of homeless people, and so many coffee shops and many restaurants, they don't want people to come in just from the street, to use their facilities. So they all have, basically you need to go to the counter and ask for a code. A lot of them now have, codes on their doors. And I never like doing that because you feel like, you're not buying anything, right? Like you're pretty much begging. You're begging them to let you use their facilities, And so now I dropped off the guy at this restaurant, and I turn into a side street, and I'm sitting there, and I really need to go, to a bathroom. So I locked the car and I walked around to see if there's any spot where I can, pretty much be invisible. And there's residential buildings everywhere, and there was a construction site, and it had some portable, those portable toilets, but they all had a lock on the door. Like, what? Who does that, So anyway, Uber just offered me something. Which way is that? Is it towards downtown or away from downtown? I cannot tell. I think it's away from downtown. Yeah, so I have to turn around and go back. What is it? 150 meters. Oh, it's like a little... Alright, so let's go. Of course, you cannot do U-turns anywhere here. But no, yeah, in...
Right lane, turn right on 12th Street Southeast.
Okay. Uber found the route. Let's go.
Turn right on 8th Avenue Southeast. Just ahead, turn right on 13th Street Southeast.
Yeah, I wonder where this passenger is going, because of course, because it's Uber, I have no idea how far or how close they're going.
Turn right on 13th Street Southeast, then turn left.
Oh, by the way, I had an interesting passenger, a young girl, and she didn't look very well, She looked like she was sick or something. And she put in an address, and it's the wrong address. She was like a couple of blocks away. And I could see her. I could see that she was where she was, you know, because the Uber shows me her phone pretty much, right? And she calls me. She says, "Where are you?" I said, "Well, I'm at the address that you put in." "Oh, it's not the correct address." And the way she speaks, it's like, look at this road. Holy moly. So she didn't sound like she was okay, you know. And then we're going to my destination, and I see that actually it's the hospital. It's the emergency room. And I said, "You want the main entrance?" I thought maybe she works there. And she says, "No, just please take me to the emergency entrance." You know, like, what is this? Like, that's the guy with bags over there. I can see him, but I cannot get there. You cannot get there from here, but I see the guy with a bunch of suitcases, so it must be going to the airport, because he has suitcases and he's staring at his phone.
Turn right on 9th Avenue Southeast, then turn right. Recording. 2 channels started.
And the last guy, I was right. He was going to the airport, had some beat up bags. You know, I thought, man, maybe he's homeless or something. You know, he wasn't dressed very well. But then I said, "We're going to the airport." And he says, "Yeah." And I said, "What airline?" He says, "Delta International." Okay. And as we're driving, he opened the window. I didn't have my AC on because it's like plus 19 out. And we were going through the construction zone, so it's like 80 kilometers an hour. But still, he opened the window almost to the bottom, like almost full. It's like the wind is blowing. I didn't say anything. We didn't talk. Then I dropped him off. I helped him with the bag. Like I helped him with one heavy bag when he was loading. I came out, opened the trunk, and then when we arrived there, I also jumped out, opened the door, and grabbed one of his bags and put it on the sidewalk. And guess what? He gave me a $3 tip. So $3, that's telling me that he's Canadian. Because if he was American, he would tip me in US dollars, and then it can never be even number, you know. Because let's say he's American and he gives me $3, then 3 times 1.3 would be like something like 525. You know, it would be an even number with cents. And so if he gave me $3 even, that means he's Canadian. So that's my first and only tip of the day. I was going to this Bing restaurant because according to Google listing, it says on Sundays they opened midnight to 9 p.m. which I have no idea what it like. It's the second time, like when I went to what do you call it, the tool shed, the brewery. It was the same story. Something is happening with Google, you know. I'm not sure what I'm doing here. So airport, it's 10 o'clock, so I thought maybe I should go to the waiting lot, but it says queue is full. Basically, too many cars. And I look at how many flights. It's, I don't know, 5 flights. It's very low. So basically, if you go there this early, you'll be sitting for 2 hours there. And so I just drove to my area and thinking I'm gonna call it quits, because right now I'm at this. Oh, by the way, this last ride, it was 16 bucks from 9th Avenue to the airport, and the guy gave me $3 tip, so it became 19. And so now I'm still at $20 on Lyft, and but now I'm at 80 bucks on Uber, so $100. So total is 7 trips with Uber and 2 trips with Lyft. 9 trips. So 100 bucks since 4 a.m. So 100 bucks for 6 hours. Is that good or bad? You tell me. But that's gross, right? That's what I got. And again, yesterday I spent $25 on gas. Oh man. And my Jeep now, so I bought this in the summer of 23. So now it's 2 years old. I'm sitting at 48,536 kilometers. I never had so many kilometers on a vehicle. And normally I trade them in or sell them way before 20,000 kilometers. So I don't know. But that means that I'm making good use of this vehicle. And so 48,000 in 2 years. It's not too bad. And that's why I don't want to do Uber full time, because then you'll be adding 300 a day easy, or 1500 let's say a week, 6,000 kilometers a month. So you can do, in 1 year you can do 80,000 kilometers, and then you're really killing your vehicle. Then your warranty ends at I think my warranty ends at 100,000 kilometers. And so it's too early to go home, because I wanted to go to a restaurant, right? To have like nice brunch, but it's too early. Everything is closed. And so I guess I'll just stay here. Sometimes I get passengers from McDonald's. I don't know. Not a very good day for Uber, but what do you do? For some reason, this whole summer sucks. Compared to last summer, it was way busier. So the only time it was busy was during Stampede. But because I went on vacation, I flew to England. I only did like 1 day. But I remember in that 1 day, I made 300 bucks. It was like go, 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 go. As soon as you drop somebody off, they give you somebody else, Like no pauses, pretty much. And it wasn't even a full day. It was like from early in the morning until I think 2 or 3 p.m. It was great. But then everything just tanked,